she'll share more about what that does. So basically, it helps seniors to remain independent in their lifestyle. And today we want to have her share about that. But then also in general, how is technology assisting seniors and their families these days? It's not just about being able to do email, but now it's what kind of apps and smartphone devices and things are available for Kupuna that will help them to function in today's world, right? So very important.
In Japan,
Yeah.
It's really prevalent.
In fact, in Japan, I think Line is the biggest communication app. Yeah. And Kakuta, you guys use Kakuta? That's more like Korea, maybe. And some Facebook.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
in Europe is WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that here. Is that?
So, Priscilla,
Yeah.
here's a mic.
I thought you were gonna fist bump me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you said, I'm Priscilla Wong. So I'm about 50% Chinese. No. My husband is Chris Wong. And yeah, we represent Electronic Caregiver. And really our company is just passionate about using technology to help those with disabilities and of course our Kupuna and really finding that aging in place or being able to live more comfortably in their own environment and kind of have control of that. Whether they're at home or on the go, traveling, they'll always have, safety with them. So we've kind of taken those techie, video gamers, and we've turned that into technology that we can actually use to help save lives and avoid basically pain and suffering, So yeah, so one of the things that we have different products. One of the things we have is our premier mobile medical alert device. And so it's like a mobile device that works in and out of the home anywhere in the U.S. and you can actually take it with you. If you needed help or you just needed assistance on something, we could go ahead and facilitate whatever the needs are from that situation. But it's very fancy. We have lots of different colors to where if you did need help, you could go ahead and press on one of our buttons here. And then we have our mobile part, and so this goes out with you when you go out and about, and then you can wear one of our options like this. Yeah, you can take it to it. And this little brochure.
So it's like something like my mom used to have in Japan. It's connected to the phone, and for emergencies, she pressed the button.
So, it's the concept is the same.
Oh, thank you.
The concept is the same. It's not connected to a phone. What's great about this is it's all inclusive. So it's actually cellular. So it goes off cellular, and then your family can also have an app on their phone that's connected to it as well. So, like Angela would be able to see where you're at, or if you needed help, she'd be able to locate you very quickly. And also send messages. Definitely can be useful for different situations for sure. Awesome. Hi, how are you? Oh no, welcome. I'm Priscilla. I was just letting them know I'm with Electronic Caregiver. So we're a company that uses technology to kind of help our seniors and those with disabilities live more comfortably. This is our mobile wristband. And this wristband, you can press on the button and then you can alert our team. And we would be able to see where you're at anywhere in the U.S. as well as be able to send family, EMS, whatever is needed at that point. So this is just one of the options that we have. But you can also have an app that's connected to this that family can have connection to. And they'll be able to send messages, medication reminders. They'll be able to see where you're at from the app, just like you would like on Google Maps, that kind of concept. But yeah, this is our.
How do you press?
So you would just press and hold it till you see the green light. You might have the activated one, or do I? So you'll have the activated one. Go ahead. So yeah, you'll see that. So then it'll come on here, and then it'll start talking to us. I'm going to go ahead and cancel it.
Cancel this call. Press and hold the emergency.
Because there's no emergency. But
But is there a reception thing on that watch?
yeah, so it's
So
about a 500-foot radius. So wherever you go, usually in the home it'll work fine. If you live in a building, then anytime you leave the floor, you'll have to take the little device with you. We have different color pouches, but I have the black one here. You just stick it in here. You can hook it onto you if you're going on a walk or throw it in a bag. But the goal is really to have something that you're wearing all the time because that's waterproof, and then have something like this so that you don't have to wear this. There's a lot of mobiles out there where you have to wear it around your neck. I don't know if you've seen them before. We do have like a small option as well, like this, if you wanted to wear this. This is a lot more comfortable. But what we did is we separated it. So we have you wear something that doesn't need to be charged. It's waterproof. You can wear it all the time. And then this guy you just take when you leave the home or go on a walk. And it just sits on the little charger here. So, I mean, that's pretty much basic concept and how that works.
So it's all going to be a base unit?
Yeah, so this is the base unit, yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
then you can take this anywhere you go. So it doesn't have to plug into your landline or anything. It's just all inclusive.
So that is basically, this would be basically 100 feet of that.
500, but radius. So yeah. So it's usually fits, but if there is a questionable area, what I do personally is I install and make sure everything works, and I'll go ahead and test certain areas. Like some people garden and they have kind of like a large backyard, and so I'll go back there and like make sure it works properly so that they know where the boundaries are, and we'll set it up more centrally in the home.
So you said that it works while you're anywhere in the world, you said?
In the U.S.
U.S.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
anywhere in the U.S.
Okay.
So you want to go to one of the other islands, or if you're traveling to the mainland, that works. The only thing I always say is just give me a call and let me know. If you want to test it out, if you're in more of a rural area, because it goes off cellular, then at that point you would just want to let me know so that I could test it to make sure it's working properly in that area. But most of the time it works. I mean, you really have to be out in the boonies for it to not work.
So it doesn't include Canada.
It does well. So it works in Canada. It's just we don't dispatch.
Okay.
So like we're not tapped into their local dispatch there. So like we would know that there was an alarm and we would still call you that there's something happened, but we wouldn't be able to do anything out from calling you.
Oh, so like not sending EMS or
Right. Exactly.
But you could call the family.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Would that be applicable elsewhere in the world?
No, I think it's only Canada,
Okay.
just because of the cellular.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just because we're on the same plan there without getting too technical.
Right.
Yeah. So it goes off AT&T, the back end, the GSM back end. So most of the places it works fine, which is great. So, but one of the other great things that we also are working with, like I said, we are more of a tech company trying to help make things more easy to wear and to utilize for everybody involved. My brother has cerebral palsy and epilepsy, and so he actually has a device as well, and he's 30, and it's actually proven to be very helpful for my family because he does live with my family, but when nobody's around and he feels like he's about to have a seizure or something were to happen to him, he could just easily call for help and have that. So it really works for a wide variety of people, even students. But one of the great things that we're bringing out this year is our virtual caregiver, and her name is Addison. So we actually are partnered with Amazon. So when you get Addison, you get Alexa. We get two girls in the house. And Addison works as a caregiver. So she will be able to help in a lot of ways, in a lot of like home health care ways. So she'll be able to monitor intake of medicine. So she'll be able to know if you actually took the pill and the right one. She'll know if your gait is, you're walking, the way you walk is off a little bit, and she'll actually stop you and have you practice certain exercises to help with that area. Respiratory issues, heart issues, all of those things are going to be things that she can actually be monitoring and helping. As well as probably the number one question I get from people is, what if something happens and I'm not able to press the button, right?
Yeah.
She would be able to help you immediately. There would be no, issues in that regard. She'd be able to know exactly what's going on and be able to call the right people and tell them, where you are and what happened, without really invading your everyday life. And so it's a very non-invasive way in helping people to continue to live at home in a safe environment. Because even if you live with family and you have other people in the home, but they're not there all the time, you want to make sure that there's, that safety, because if something were to happen, the longer it takes to get that help, the worse the conditions are. And so this is great for being on the go. And so Addison is there for us when we need that extra care. And it's going to be a lot less than what you would see in home health care costs. So it's definitely going to cut on costs in that. And we're also looking at bringing in insurances to cover it as well. So it's a great option. This is our Addison. You can see her.
Play a snippet.
Yeah, play a little snippet of.
Hello, I'm Addison, your new virtual home health caregiver. I can do many things to help you maintain and improve your state of living. So let's get started. You can speak to me casually, like you would any other person. But before we get much further, I need to know what your name is.
Caroline White.
Okay, do you have a preference for me to call you Caroline or Mrs. White?
Caroline is fine.
So this is Addison.
Wonderful.
This is a quick little snippet of her, and she keeps evolving and changing. I think this is maybe one of our older versions. It might
We can
be.
start tracking your medications.
Yeah, so she can track medications and
If
really
you
a
have
lot of
any
things.
questions about diet, feel free to ask me anytime.
Is all that through here? Is it through this? That's receiver?
So
or-
that is going to be a separate device, and what it is we're going to have multiple. It would really be like having Alexa, so you're going to have little screens. It'd be the same thing as like Google Home. It's going to look like that, and then you can talk to her through that screen. And then we'll have certain cameras that are all AI, so it's not like a video camera like this. It's more AI, so it's all coded, and she'll be able to see through coding how all of the life is and what we need to kind of help that person. So it'll be customized to each individual.
So that she can have a conversation
With
Right.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody.
Okay.
You can have a conversation, so you can say, I forgot if I took my medicine today. You can say Addison, and then she'll listen. And you say, I forgot, did I take my medicine today? And then she'll explain what you took and when you took it. And then what's great is the family can also know as well. So they're kind of up on that too. So, yeah,
How would you know whether you took medication?
through artificial intelligence, she'll be able to see that you took it. So that's the great thing about artificial intelligence, and what I was kind of explaining to them is we took all of those techie guys, specifically over at New Mexico. We have a lot of tech coming out of that college there that come over and do a lot of artificial intelligence through gaming. And so we've taken that and we've put them in a place where they can actually like change lives and save, people from going through pain and suffering. So we've used that brain that they have to kind of help in this way. So it's very interesting. I can't give you the specifics on how, but I know it's through art. I don't go to that college.
I assume that she, the camera would have to observe
Yeah.
you, what exactly is going to be doing.
Exactly. So she'll prompt you. She'll say it's time to take your medicine, and you'll go over to your medicine, and that's where it'll be labeled, so she can actually see the label that you're taking, and then if you swallowed it, so she'll know that is the medicine you're taking at that Because a lot of times, you know, people who have a lot of different medications confused about which ones to take, or they take too many of one, not enough of the other, and then their medications changes after a couple months because for whatever reason they need more of this or less of that, and that's really, really confusing and can cause more falls and accidents. So that's a very important thing to
Is
have.
there a specific kind of? Are they all in the individual bottles, or is there a specific receptacle that she has to look at in order to know?
So it should be a very simple process. I don't know exactly how they have it set up right now, but it'll be very simple to where it'll be very easy to just grab and go. But I don't know the exact setup.
Okay.
So what I mean is, can she have a emotional support for the person if they're
That's a really
having
good
a
question.
panicking,
Yeah.
or you just fell, therefore that
Yeah.
they normally
She'll be
it's
there.
very corrective person, but
Yeah.
the temporary
In an emergency, in an emergency,
Mhm.
definitely
and so
you lose your cognitive as well. So yes, she does explain, you know, everything's going to be okay. She'll ask you questions to kind of calm you down, you know, just in that regard. But I don't know how deep it goes, but I know that she will be reassuring and explaining to you who's coming and helping you, and in that regard.
okay.
So yeah.
The AI I talked about in Japan is they do like a little toy, like a doll, and then you say, how are you feeling?
Okay.
Are you feeling all right today?
Yes.
Or what's wrong with you? You are down, then, tell me how you feel.
I see what you're saying.
And that
Okay.
type of thing. So through that, apparently, it's seniors respond to AI more than the human beings, and therefore it's getting more and more popular over there.
Yeah.
So I
They're
was
more open
just
to
wondering if she
That's
goes
funny.
that far.
Yeah, well, she does take information based off that individual's needs, and so if there was like an emotional need for that person, then just collecting that data of, you know, how they're feeling that day or whatnot is important, and that she can collect all of that information. I don't know how deep they go into it, but it's definitely something to look into, and I really like that feedback that they were.
Right.
Japan is more open to, the seniors are more open to AI in Japan. That's
Amazing.
Yeah.
They have robots everywhere.
Yeah.
Kinds of things in Japan with AI.
When you go to the hotel, you will do all the checkups with AI.
Yeah, they have little robots while you're checking and different
Really?
places. Yeah. Different places like that.
I'm not going to the right places.
No.
I still have human beings.
Yeah. I think
You gotta
it's
talk to somebody.
I think it's because they have an aging workforce.
Yes. And
Yeah.
they
They're
need
not
to-
having enough people to
That is
replace
true.
those people who are to come in. And but there's also a lot more seniors also living at home alone, because their kids, and especially in the rural parts of Japan. So,
They don't want to leave.
they don't want to live there. The kids don't want to live there, and they don't want to leave because
Yeah.
that's what they've always known and where they grew up.
Yeah.
So, these types of things have been helpful for the seniors in those type of areas.
They even see the doctors through the computer.
Uh,
You don't need
Telemedicine.
to go to
Virtually,
the
yeah.
doctor's office. You like in Australia, same kind of things. So, that's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're starting to see that here in the U.S. more.
Oh, good.
Virtual interaction versus waiting for an hour.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Well, commuting is difficult
And commuting,
too,
right.
You have to
Right.
use Ubers every time when you go or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
Or waiting
Yeah.
for handy van for 2 hours, 3
Yeah.
hours, right?
I mean, you can't really rely on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't, a lot of times you're not in there because you're sick. You're in there for like a different reason, and then you have to be there in front of everybody else who's sick.
With all the sickness going around and then
One thing I should say is we also do offer Pocket Empty, which is basically basically a physician on demand. So you could talk to a physician. It doesn't take the place of your doctor, but it's a great option for, urgent care and things like that where you don't want to go in. And it's wonderful if you're traveling too, because you can call them anywhere, and it's just a subscription. So it's included with whatever package you choose with us, and then from there you can use it as much as you want.
Love that feature.
I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people and the whole family can use it. So if one person has the device, or if you just want to add it on as like a all-inclusive, just Pocket MD, the whole family can use it up to 7 people. So
Still limited to US, right?
actually, you can reach them online. So they wouldn't be able to prescribe outside of the US, but you still could talk to them. For sure.
Interesting.
What do you feel like, aside from what electronic caregiver is doing, what do you feel like technology is heading with like senior care and assistance, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think just using the development that we're able to use with technology is just going to help our seniors live longer. All of us that live longer and healthier lifestyles. I think the thing is living a healthy lifestyle. And so we want to be strong and healthy instead of just, you live a long time in a nursing home, and because of a fall that was not caught, within 2 hours. And statistically, after about 2 hours, that's when your injuries get quite a bit worse and more complications start to arise. And I mean, just 2 hours seems a long time. But most people I reach that I work with, they'll call me after a big incident will happen. And they've told me how long they've stayed. And so I really like the fact that technology is helping to avoid a lot of those instances and live a more active lifestyle. When you're on the go, you want to go do things, you can actually walk and feel safe. And my husband, he talks about his typo, which is his great grandma. She, at a certain point, wouldn't move in the house unless anybody was around. So she would just stay in her seat the whole time. And she lived a long time just sitting. And that's not really, she didn't feel comfortable. She was afraid that she would fall and nobody would know. And so the only time she would get up is if somebody came to visit her. And so 1, that's a lot of guilt for the family. And 2, she didn't want to move in with family. And so if she had something, this was a while ago, if she had something that made her feel comfortable, that's the healthy lifestyle that she could live, is she could move around her house, she could go get the mail herself still. We wouldn't be taking those privileges away from her, we would be keeping those in the home. And so, yeah, that's a long answer, but.
No, that's good. That's true.
Yeah. I think for seniors, I'm the senior. The confidence is so important, what you can, but then at the same time, they're ashamed that you cannot do certain things because technology is too advanced, so we cannot keep up with it, or something like
It's
that.
untouchable. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm depending on it. But, it's still, you don't want to be, you keep asking the same question and then she gets mad.
Right.
She's
it's
going to make a
intimidating.
robot of herself.
Yeah, that's why.
You can always
For me,
answer.
Yeah.
Push the button. What answer is it?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's what Addison's there for. Now, how do I turn the TV on again? Maybe she can explain to you.
Yeah, that's true. Which button?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I wanted to touch on a few other neat techie things which some of our service partners have developed. So one is Ho'okele Health Navigators. And what they've done is they initially started as a in-home care service. And then from there, they created a platform where that person who's doing the in-home care can actually enter in all the information, and then it's shared with the family members. So everybody's fully aware of where that person is with regard to their care. And
that information is really important, though. Working with a couple of case managers, it's so important the family all knows so that they're all on board on what needs to happen too. Because sometimes the family doesn't know, and then they have opinions, but they're not seeing the whole picture.
So this is, I mean, this is their website, but you know they do help keep the whole family informed. And so far, they actually took the system up to Washington, and there's some pretty big in-home care companies that are adapting this into their platform of how they care for the patients and their families. So that's another way I think technology is really helping. You know, keeping everybody informed and connected. But it is a local company, so it originated here.
That's awesome.
And then now they're kind of getting technology out there to the Northwest. Another person, his name is Dr. Wong. He's actually a geriatrician, and he's developed, it hasn't been released yet, but it's a brain health app. So it's a series of, whether it's games or activities, maybe like a Candy Crush type thing, except it's to help stimulate your brain. Okay, but he's developing something to help Kupuna keep that, their mind fresh and in tune. So he used to be with Kaiser for many years, and now he's just doing this on his own, kind of his hobby. Well, another person who's been helping us quite a bit is Carleen McKay. She's an 82-year-old emerging workforce specialist. So essentially, she's helping Kupuna, maybe if they're bored or if they want to continue to contribute, to get back into the workforce. And so whether it's as a consultant doing something you did before, she's helping people to reintegrate. And so she uses the platform LinkedIn to get people connected. So that's another good tech platform.
Who is it? Who is she?
Dr. Carleen McKay. Yeah, so she used to be, I guess, an employment specialist out in, where is that? In Silicon Valley. So she would help these big tech companies after the end of a product line to, I'll just say lay off, but transition all of their workforce from that product line, which is finished, and get them into other companies so they can stay employed. Because once the product line's done, they have to let them all go. So she used to do a lot of that in Silicon Valley. Yeah, interesting. But all that being said, if you wanted to go to our website, we actually have quite a few resources, whether it's dealing with real estate related issues, finance, senior housing, health, or estate planning. And in each section, we'll have some of our service partners. You can kind of browse through, click on a video so you get to know them a little better, see what kind of services they offer. I think it's a really good way for you to get to know these people who you could potentially work with. Mark Suda, who's the executive director at Ilima, for example, he shared his video.
Aloha, my name is Mark Suda. I'm the executive director for Ilima at Lejano, our new senior living community out in Kapolei. We're a licensed assisted living facility that opened in 2016, just last year, and we provide independent living, assisted living, and memory care.
So it's a good way to get to know these service providers, and then you can click to either their link, where you can hear a radio show.
Welcome to KupunaWiki, Hawaii's senior resource, helping you find answers on important topics like finances, senior housing, estate planning, real estate, health, and
welcome to the KupunaWiki radio show. This month we'll be talking about senior housing, and in the studio we have Mark Suda, Executive Director of Ilima at Lejano.
Yeah, so different resources for you. Right? So this is another way I think we're trying to use technology to bring all these service providers together so that people can access it in one place. Yeah, so technology is really helping in many ways, and hopefully it's making life better for Kupuna and their families.
And not in an intimidating way, but like more empowering.
Are there any kind of like specific apps apps and stuff that are good for seniors, whether they're, paid subscription types or whatever, because everybody seems to have a smartphone nowadays. So
Priscilla?
I don't know of anything specifically that help in that area, but I'm sure with a quick Google search, there's an article about that. But yeah, I don't know that I would be able to help you much there. But I do know that there is stuff out there. You just have to figure out what suits the best, and there's different things. Even for myself, like I'll find that different apps don't work for me, and find stuff that's easy. But we, of course, we have an app that's connected to this. So
this gentleman Todd Pang, who's the owner of Caring Manoa, so he's actually developing a platform where, since there's so many different senior housing communities in the island, he's kind of banding together to gather all that intel and then put it on a single site. So if somebody wanted to figure out, okay, what's the best care community or facility for them that offers the kind of support they need within a certain price range and within a certain area of the island, they'll go to the site and it'll kind of come up with a list of recommendations.
kind of like Yelp, but for seniors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
I'm
needed.
keeping in touch with Todd because I think it's a very interesting development. But to answer your question, as this information comes in, we'll try to get it out there so that the seniors and Kupuna will know what's available.
But having a list of apps might be kind of nice
A list
to
of
have
apps
on
would be
there.
good too.
Yeah.
I think the myth of seniors not being able to use technology, I think people are getting over that finally. Because it's just a way of life, right? And it's not just email or watching TV, but I think it will be easier.
Yeah.
Like how Addison,
Making it
I think
easier.
it will be
that's
easier. So.
Yeah.
that's the main.
It's not as complicated.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to have 5 different remotes for a TV? Of course that's complicated.
here.
Yes, exactly. Of course that's complicated. I understand. I mean, even my husband's like, I can't get the TV on.
Right.
I think that's also like with any of the apps or websites or anything. I think that's I work a lot with seniors, volunteers and whatnot, and that is a very big thing. That's very frustrating for them because they're like, this is too complicated. I can't figure out where I'm supposed to go to do. You told me to click this link, but then it's 5 links later.
Yeah.
Or right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's not linear. It's like you go here and then it's here. No, it's like here, 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 here. It's like the pages are very complicated. And then even with apps or any kind of technology, it's like they don't understand some of the background part. So it's like, why isn't this playing? Like, why isn't, there's nothing, it's not a lot, it's good for younger crowds, but when you're trying to do even vocational things or anything with regards to like wanting to watch a movie online or doing a course online or anything like that, they don't understand there's a flash player. They don't know what that means. Why isn't it working?
Yeah.
And they just get frustrated and want to throw the computer out the window. It's I think there has to be like any apps or anything that's designed for seniors should be easy. Very simple user interface.
Large text.
Yeah, a large text or like very clear menu items, not so many clicking to get to where they need to go. Because that's where I think the confusion can come in too. They're like, how did I get here? I didn't even push. This is not where I want to go, right? I think the younger crowd doesn't understand that, so they're the developers.
Right.
And
They're not
they're
sitting in
making
that
it for their lens.
exactly.
And so trying to find apps or websites that are more geared towards seniors to help them with their memory or whatever, something simple. Simply, the background can be complicated. But the interface has to be very simple.
It's usable for that generation.
You know what I see a lot is, and I love them for this, but if you go to an Apple store and you sit down at the Genius Bar, there's always, I'll say 50%, especially middle of the day, 50% are seniors. because they're learning.
Yeah.
You know, it
And
could
they
be the
have
basic-
learning classes for
Yeah.
that age too.
Right.
My father-in-law goes there because he has an Apple phone
Yeah.
and a computer now. Is an Apple iMac. I was like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
He's always calling me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But I feel like Apple's really easy to navigate people through because it's very simple. But people who are PC Apple, they're very white and black. So, but I do
I'm a
like
Mac guy.
Apple. Yeah,
Yeah.
Apple is definitely easy, and they help in that regard too. So getting an iPhone can really help with you.
Actually, the technology moves faster than I can keep up with it. So you go through one and it's no. Now
Not like
we
that
go
anymore.
this, and
Yeah.
then now we have
That's
to
another
remember this
frustration.
one.
It all
Yeah.
changes, yeah.
And unless you learn it, you cannot use it. And then so when you get frustration reach to a certain point, I
And
say,
you just
okay,
forget it.
give it to her.
Give it to me.
That's understandable.
But then it's like if you think of all the upgrades with your iPhones and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
too, that alone is extremely
Mhm.
frustrating
Yeah.
and
Like,
confusing.
is it a press or a swipe?
Yeah, like
Is it
what
up or down?
happened to my
Right.
interface? Where did my
Yeah.
whatever app go? Because they're used to remotely going to here's where my Google Maps is, and then their whole interface changes, or the settings change, or whatever, and they're just like, they're lost again, right? So they get used to how their technology is set up, whether it be
Yeah.
a computer
Even
or a
I do.
website or whatever, and then they're just completely thrown off again.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think and they can't not do it
No.
for security, right? Or whatever upgrades, or they have to switch because something's going to be phased out. And that's where I get in Red Cross, we do a lot of online training, and we get a lot of complaints and confusion and frustration as a result of technology. But, and even the phones and iPads and whatnot.
So one of the things that most of us struggle with is logins and passwords.
Yes.
So a good program is called LastPass. LastPass, I think that's
Take
what it
your
is.
wristband. Sorry.
Oh,
I have to grab those.
okay.
Thank you.
Wasn't a door prize.
Yeah.
So LastPass is one of the easier vault managers, and basically, there's a free version which gives you basic use, but then of course they want you to upgrade, right, for this stuff. But it'll help keep track of all your passwords, and there's this thing called a connector, which is up here on your screen, and when you install LastPass, it'll display an icon up here. Every time you log into a website, it'll pop up and say, do you want to save it? And you say yes, then LastPass will automatically save that password and username for that site. So every time you visit it, it'll automatically fill in, right? So that's helpful. And it's also a little more secure because then you're not writing it on a piece of paper. As somebody broke into your house and stole your paper, well, that's your whole life, right? You have access to all your accounts. So I think that's another useful thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. We have a lot of people who save it on their phones. Like they make a list on their phones.
I know.
And I'm like,
That's
you should
I have
not
a
do
locked
that.
app. You can have a locked app. I have a locked app.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah,
do
you
that.
can do that, but there's apps for that too. Like I use Password Keeper for certain things, app. And I mean, I don't know how. I haven't tried any other apps, so I wouldn't know. But this seems like it would be better. I mainly use iCloud for all my passwords, but because they keep all of my passwords. But still, then when you change one, you change all of them. That's the only thing. But yeah. That's a good idea. And then I also wanted to mention, so this is our premier mobile device. Like I said, this one, works in and out of the home anywhere in the U.S. We're doing a Mother's Day special, so all of our packages are 25% off. So our monthly monitoring fees start normally at $39.95 a month. Right now, they're $10 off a month. So it's $29.95 a month. And then we just charge the $25 activation fee. And then from there, that's it. We don't charge any extra later, and that discount lasts with you lifetime. So our Mother's Day special is for the rest of this month. And then once you're in, and all of our contracts are month to month. So there's, I guess the best way to say it is there's really no contract, it's just month to month. So yeah.
What happens if the technology for remote changes? What's going to be different? Is that going to cost more? Is that just replaced?
No, yeah. So we've had new products in the past, and we just will continue to keep the one you have until you're done using it. I think for the most part, our policy is that we'll just continue to keep the one you have. And so you can keep that one for however long you want. So we wouldn't discontinue this package and then make you pay more for the new one, if that makes sense. You would just keep this one until you were done. If you wanted an upgraded one, then you would probably have to pay for the upgrade.
Yes, was that the said current base is $39 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then 10 years from now, for example,
Yeah.
you're supposed to come up with a different base that you want to standardize.
Yeah, at that point we would probably.
I mean, it could be just in 10 years, but
Yeah.
the fact is, when you come up with something new, like when you have software that the Windows changes it.
Yeah.
When you come up with something new, and you're going to require additional technology, not software, but technology to be able to handle all that, then is the new hardware going to cost you custom panel is going to replace it?
So the good thing to know is you never actually pay for the hardware. It's all leased. So it really is just the monthly monitoring fee that you're paying. And so you wouldn't pay for new hardware unless you're getting a whole different product that works in a totally different way. But if you want to just get a medical alert device that's mobile, nothing's really going to change much from there. We have had in the previous, moved up, and some of my customers, they just switched over to the new one, and they just paid the monthly monitoring fee that they wanted to pay. But you're not paying for the equipment unless you want to have extra stuff. Like if you want to have like 5 different bands, then at that point you would have to pay extra for the bands, but just because of your outfits or whatever. But yeah, so I don't think you would really need to pay. It's not like Windows, it's not like Apple where they have a new software. It's not like that. Totally simplified.
Service, that's a subscription
Yeah,
service.
exactly. You're really just paying for the service, and everything's very simple. So in that regard, I feel like we've made it as simple as possible for you guys.
So is there moves to make things smaller? Like the necklaces, they're kind of big, the receptacle of the buttons, or the things on the wristbands, all that stuff. Are there, technology can shrink things.
Yeah.
Is there moves to make it smaller, more?
I think we're always
portable?
open. Yeah, I think we're always open to making things more smaller and compact, but a lot of it has to do with your price point. And so majority of the people, the smaller you get, the more expensive it is. So we want to also, I think the first part is make it affordable, and then the second part is making it comfortable. And I think out of all of the ones I've seen personally from customers who've come to me who've had other devices, they've always said that this was way more wearable. So, and more applicable, because if you have a mobile that needs to sit on the charger at some point, that means you don't have anything on. And usually you're doing that at night. So, and at night is when it's most important to have something on you. So, yeah.
Folks have any other questions regarding technology and seniors? This is your genius bar session.
I'm not a genius.
Yeah, well, we're hardly geniuses.
Yeah, we're hardly.
We have Alexa and Google.
Yeah.
That makes us geniuses.
Yes.
In line with that, you said that there's something empty. I mean, there's
Pocket empty, yeah.
We have the virtual assistant like Alexa that's always monitoring, or So whatever you're saying to whoever you're talking to is getting picked up to the device and stored somewhere.
So this is definitely a separate product. So Addison is one thing, and that is going to be the virtual caregiver. And you do, I'm not sure exactly how it works with her, but I know that if you want to talk to her, you say Addison, and then she's listening. And then at certain points, there's scheduled times where she's watching to make
I
sure.
was gonna say, when you say Addison, for example, to Q
Yeah.
number 2 that you want to ask. At what point does she know that you're done
Yeah.
talking to her? I mean, asking her. Or is it she just answer the question that you have, or at what point do you know that she's no longer listening to you? Yeah, she really wants something from you.
So there's one video that shows where Addison is listening on the screen, and you'll see that she's listening. It'll say it on the screen that you're talking to. And then if she's not listening, it won't be on there. I don't think it shows. It usually is up at the top.
Is it
It'll
the
say-
listening? I think it's this.
Yeah, so listening, it'll say she's listening at that point. Yeah, so it's green.
And not only that,
So now
but
she's
since
talking.
you have had such a marked improvement, we've gotten another unlock. Now I have another outfit that I can wear. Which one do you think?
You
I
can
should
play
wear?
bingo with her and everything. There's a lot of little like extra fun stuff. So now she's listening.
I love getting new things. And it's all thanks to you, Caroline. Great job.
So yeah, so it'll show listening on the screen.
She told me you have fun. I will stay on the line with you until we get someone there to help.
So yeah, that's our rapid response team. So when something happens, she alerts the rapid response, and then a live person can actually come on and come through, and you can be talking to somebody live while they're dispatching emergency responders or calling family.
And when she's listening like this, okay, she's going to start line with someone from whatever cases, for example.
Right.
And you need to talk to somebody else who's there, not to ask herself. And what does she ever not respond? Once you call her name, does she stop responding? She's always going to listen.
I think at some point she's not listening. It's just so your main concern is when you're having a conversation with each other.
I mean, when I want to just directly with her, and
You don't
how do I
want
know
her
she-
listening.
Yeah. How do I know she's not?
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's actually a good question in general, because that was one of the concerns people had of Alexa.
Yeah.
Is she listening? So I don't think we have an answer to that question.
Yeah.
They came up with the saying that Amazon is having people
Yeah.
with, like, they're storing Alexa and stuff like that. There was articles saying that they had, that Amazon has people for Alexa to monitor conversations and stuff or something. There was in Forbes or something.
Interesting.
So there was that, like, oh my gosh, like, what is that? Like, what are they doing with that? Like, what is that conversation and all that stuff?
So all of it is documented in the sense that I know with AI, it's all documented, it's all encrypted. And so I know for a fact we're not just sitting there listening to your conversations. So I can at least tell you that. But it is, documented, so for health reasons.
It's of course being not being recorded. It's being stored somewhere in a server someplace.
Got it, yeah.
So
That's a part of
so
AI.
The parts of the information that's been, I guess, overheard is part of this. And security for that is what I was concerned about.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's really a question for our artificial intelligence people. I don't know.
Probably, I would say read the fine print of the contract,
Yeah.
because that's where it's going to be. And even then, you may have to inquire,
Basically,
because it may not say
it's
anything.
If you want to use it, you gotta read it.
Yeah, I mean,
You also
with
have to not-
anything like this, yeah, you have the option not to get it, but ultimately the value of having something there is greater than the value of not when you're in an emergency situation. Because then then you're stuck in a place where you have to have somebody sitting there the whole time watching you. So that's the other thing.
Well, thank you very much for sitting with us and
Yeah.
hearing from Priscilla. Thank you, Priscilla, for that great information.
Thank you guys for coming.
We are going to pass out a survey. We love having feedback from people who come to our sessions. And we are going to draw a winner of a survey to win a Long's gift card. So if you fill that out, and we'll have a drawing right after this.